butterflies in my stomach, how'd I get like this? Like this. Not of myself, I wanna feel breaths like this. About you.
So hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I styled this mullet. This mullet is actually not for me, but it's for my grandma. She wanted a mullet after she saw me with one, so I'm making one for her. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm about to start like thinning out the top, because this wig came very like bulky at the top, and you know that's not really like the look that we're going for. So I'm using a razor comb from the beauty supply store, and I'm basically like, oh, see, I cut too much, but it's okay because there was a lot, you know, there was a lot of room for me to cut a lot, because like I said, it came so bulky at the top. So I'm just thinning out the hair like at the very crown. You don't want to thin out so much from like the bang that's directly in front of your face, but mainly at like the spiral at the top. If you've ever gotten a wig that does not have like a part, you know what I mean, like kind of how like on pixie cut wigs there's like a little like spiral is not the word, but there isn't like an actual part. So you want to start like cutting basically from the direction of the like pattern of the hair, and just basically thin out the top. And now I'm like cutting down the sides, because I want the desired look that I'm going for the mullet is like kind of like a curtain bang, but still a little bit wispy, and then like very flat on the sides. And I wanted to almost be like shaped like a mohawk in the back, so like very flat sides, and then lots of volume like in the back of the hair. And then yeah, I love to keep the sideburns whenever I do like a short hairstyle, just because I feel like it makes it look very like cute and like elfy and like fairy like. So I'm cutting down the sides but keeping the sideburns. Right, still just shaping down those sideburns. I think at this point I'm ready to move to, what am I doing here? All right, hold on. Oh, I think I was looking for like a ponytail holder to separate the hair that I've already cut, just so I don't like continue to cut more. Or wait, that wasn't I think that was I used a wig cap to section off my hair, because I couldn't find a ponytail holder that would fit it. So I do recommend, after you cut like the section of hair, I recommend like you know, putting it off to the side or like putting it up, so you aren't continuing to cut from that area, because then it's gonna look like that specific area has like very sparse hair, and then it's gonna look, you know, you're gonna have pieces sticking up like you alfalfa, so you don't want that. So just kind of like section it off to the side so you can focus on the parts that you have not touched yet. So that's what I'm doing here. And then after I put that on, I'm gonna start to go like cut more from the top, but still like I'm still not cutting from the very like front of the hair that's like over my face. I'm cutting from like the very like, you know, the thick part that's still somewhat at the crown of the head. So that's what I'm doing right now, just thinning out the sides of my hair specifically. Not the side that's like on the direct sides of my hair, but the side of the top, if that makes sense. Like the top of my head. I'm cutting hair down on either side so that it blends into the tapered part that's closest to my ear, if that makes sense. Because I want it to all like flow together, not just be like a, you know, I have flat sides and like very like smooth sides that are like tapered, and then it just, you know, is cut into like a very I basically I want it to be like a neat transition between the very like thick, almost curtain bang that I'm having at the top. I want it to be a good transition from that to like the very tapered sides. So because of that, I'm blending in the sides of the top. I really hope that makes sense. So yeah, so I had some hair on my lip. I definitely don't recommend wearing lip gloss while you do this because the hair is just going to stick to your lips. That part was really irritating me. I also wish I would have worn glasses so that I didn't get like hair stuck on my eyelashes, but I'll remember that for the next time. What am I doing here? Looks like I'm still cutting from like the sides of the top, basically just giving the hair a shape. And yeah. All right, so now you see me touching up the sides of my hair. I did the other side already, but now I'm just going in on the other side because I don't think I think at that point they weren't looking even, so I was just making sure that both sides look like the same. And then after I finish the sides, I'm going back in at the top. Now I'm just like touching up the top and like still thinning it out because I'm about to get ready to use my a styling iron to like bump the top and also add some curls. But yeah, so since I'm getting prepared to style, I'm now just brushing out all the like extra hair. You can see the hair that's like falling and getting my nose and my face and my lips and just everywhere, child. So just brushing out that excess hair so I can get prepared to style. Yeah, I had to wipe off my lips. It was just so much hair. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't think y'all will need an explanation of what I'm doing as far as like curling my hair because you're gonna see. I think the cutting part was maybe something that needed more explanation. But I might still jump in for a voiceover at the, while I'm styling my hair, but I probably won't. But yeah, now it looks like I'm like thinning out the top of the very top of my hair that's like over my face. Because it was really long and really thick and I want to be able to see, like I got to be able to see. So I'm kind of just like brushing it and like thinning some at the top. And yeah, now I'm taking my scissors and doing something. Oh, right now I am, what am I doing? Oh, still just cutting, and I'm basically making it, I keep saying tapered. I don't know if tapered is the right word, but I basically want like my bang in the front to almost make like a triangle type shape. So like I'm cutting vertically on the sides and not really cutting a whole lot at the very, like at the middle, or I guess at the part that would fall like right at my eyebrows. I want it to be like a triangular shape, if that makes sense. I didn't want my bang to be just like a, straight across or, like a curtain bang. So now I'm just like adding final touches to the bang. Because when it first arrived, if y'all can see, it was very much like bowl, like it was giving bowl cut vibes. It was giving curtain bang, and that's not really what I was going for. I wanted it to be very like tapered and like kind of like almost coming to like a point, coming to a point. So I'm just doing some clipping just to give the desired look that I'm going for with the bang. I think that the most important elements with the mullet hairstyle is making sure that the hair that's directly in front of your face fits your face. And for me, like a bowl cut does not work for me. For some people it does. And I also think the second important element is like the sides, getting the sides to like lay flat and making sure that you're doing the adequate amount of like tapering so that the size of your hair, for one, making sure you still have sideburns, because I think the sideburns are like a big part of a mullet. Like you need sideburns with a mullet. But also it needs to lay flat, almost like a pixie cut hairstyle. Like from the front, you want it to look like a pixie cut. And then when you like turn to the side or like, if you have your hair put forward, then you see the hair coming out the back, then you're like, oh, okay. So now I think I'm just brushing through all of my hair and getting ready to style it. Oh, nope, I gotta do more cutting because this is the mushroom bowl type look that I was going for. You see how it just like folds in on itself and it just looks very like mushroomy at the top. I'm not a huge fan of like the mushroom, like the mushroom coconut head type of like hairstyle. If I remember Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified, he had like a very much a bowl cut. So I wanted to look very like, I want it to look very tapered. So right now I'm just kind of like cutting from like this is not really the side, but kind of like the back, like the side of the back, because earlier before I was saying like side of the top, then I was saying like sides. The direct sides are like the ones that are like near my ears. The sides of the top is you know, y'all get what I'm saying. I'm trying to like use the words so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, but you also see what I'm doing in the video, so I don't need to like overly explain. But just cut from that area, basically the area that you see me cutting from, just cut from there. Cut at a downward angle, almost as if you were like cutting layers into your hair, because that's basically what I'm doing, adding layers to the back, so that it's not like just such a, you know, just such a bold vibe. I don't like a bold cut. I don't like that. So I'm just cutting to taper it down a little bit. Yeah, I think y'all get the idea. I'm gonna come back if I do need to add more like commentary. I will do that. I might add a couple comments while I'm actually like styling to let y'all know what like technique I'm using. But other than that, I'm just gonna let the visuals kind of show y'all what I'm doing, and yeah. Back again with the voiceover. It looks now like I'm basically just doing touch-ups all over my head, kind of just repeating what I've been doing, like tapering down the sides, making sure the sides are laying flat, and then, you know, like I said, cutting from the sides of the top to make sure that the top blends in with the tapered sides. And also let me see what I'm doing. But yeah, as you can see, like my sides are really flat, like the side closest to my ears are really flat. I think I did go back and touch up the other side, because the other side looks like it needs a little bit more tapering near like the sideburns. But as you can see, like my sides are flat, and the top blends in with the sides. It doesn't just look like, oh, the sides are short and then like the top is just long and just hanging over it. It blends into it properly, which is what we want. But yeah, it looks like I'm just cutting more from the sides, trying to get the sides right. And yeah, at this point I'm almost done, so I'm feeling myself. I'm doing a little shaking off the hair. So yeah, okay, now at this point I have whipped out my styling iron. I have the heat up to 390. I wouldn't really recommend going over 390, because it's just not really necessary. And then I'm going in with the heat protectant. Always use the heat protectant, even if it's not your natural hair that you're styling on. Then I got my vape. Oh, then also, so mousse is what I'm using to kind of like lay down the sides flat, even flatter. And then I'm also just like kind of like using a little bit on my hands to like, you know, almost as like a like to hold the curls. Because I want the top, like when I style mullets, I like the top to be like kind of messy a little bit. Like I don't like uniform curls, so I use the styling mousse to have it look a little bit like messy but still like styled well. And then I am leaving my ends flipped, like the very back of my head that's like flipped up. I am leaving that, but I'm like still curling the back of my head and of course the top. So yeah, you see me prepping my hair for that, adding the heat protectant spray, brushing it through. Alright, so now I'm going in, or it looks like I'm about to go in my flat iron. And usually if I was curling this hairstyle for myself, I would curl up because I like almost like a Betty Boop type of look for my mullets. But this is for my grandma and I want it to be like in a style that would be comfortable for her. So I'm curling it down. I'm curling it down almost like a you know, like a very traditional, like a bump. Like I'm bumping the ends in instead of out. And so I'm pretty much doing that all over my hair. I am also adding some curls that are like kind of to the side to add some like difference in texture. I think mullets are, at least for me, I'm big on texture when it comes to mullets. No one likes a flat mullet. No one likes a, you know, there has to be volume. So in order to create that, a good way is to add different curl directions. So I'm basically curling in every way besides up because I'm leaving the ends the way that they came, which is kind of like flipped up anyway. So yeah, doing that, kind of just doing the downward or inward curl all over my head. Child, this angle is not doing wonders for me, but it's okay. Y'all know I'm a bad bitch. Y'all know I'm a bad bitch, so it ain't even that deep. So yeah, still curling in. So in other words, the curler should be moving towards you. And I don't know if y'all can tell, but after I let the curl go, I'm kind of like either holding it in place or I'm kind of like running my fingers through it so that it doesn't get too like, not that it doesn't get too tight, but I like my curls, like I said, to look messy, especially when it comes to like mullets. So that's why the curls aren't maybe as uniform as it would be for a different hairstyle. But I like the way it turned out, and this is how I prefer it for like mullet hairstyles, and my grandma liked it too, so that's all that matters. So yeah, still curling inwards, as you can see.
Today, the things that you can do today to get you closer to your goal. That is why I feel like this is gonna work so good for me. So now that you have the specifics and you have what exactly action you can take to get you to your goal, we know that there's so many other things that we can do, like keto, like all these things. Those things are gonna start coming naturally the more and more and more and more that you build these things. But you have your clear vision now, clear vision of where you see yourself, and you have your 3 goals that you can start taking action on now. Now you have your actions that you can do to get you closer to these things, and then you're gonna score yourself every single day. So you need to make a column for every single day of the week.
So when I'm working at the top of my head, when I curl it, I'm like almost flipping my wrist in the direction that I'm curling it in. If that makes sense, or flipping my wrist in the direction that I want to curl it in. So I start off by like curling inwards like I was with the rest of my head, but then at the very end, before the iron leaves the very tip of my hair, I'm like quickly turning it to the left, so it's like so that it's not like so it doesn't look like a hump, but more like a little like wave, if that makes sense. But yeah, you see how I'm turning my wrist? That's what I mean. Like, just turn the wrist in the direction that you want it to like go in. That's really the best way I can describe that. Just add, if you confuse, ask your auntie or your sister to show you how to flip your wrist when you curling. That's really all you gotta do. Everything is in the flick of the wrist when it comes to hairstyling. You just gotta you know what I'm saying, turn that motherfucker. But yeah, I think I'm done with the voiceover portion. Y'all pretty much get the idea. I'm basically doing that all over my head. And yeah, I think my hair is done at this point. I think I may have added or done a couple touch-ups after this clip. But yeah, that's it for the voiceover portion. See, I'm cute as fuck. The mullet is cute. The mullet is cute. And can you believe I used to not like mullets? Like, I used to think that mullets were not cute at all, but they're cute as fuck.